What's up? It's Jamani. I had recorded a video earlier today and I was talking about Africans and African Americans. So my whole life I've been approached by Africans that would ask me, where I'm from. So when I was speaking on that today in the previous video, I was angry because, how do I want to start this? I'm African American, and to my knowledge, I don't know where I'm from as far as Africa, or where does my ancestry go past, the 400 years of slavery. Where am I from? I don't know, and it's impossible for anyone to know that's African American that come from slavery. So, but I kind of want to talk about why I was so angry because, as a kid, I understand I'm dark skin complexion. I have a lot of African features. I do identify as African descent. My people are from originally from Africa, but I'm from America. But it's like when I've been approached by African people, I'm trying to understand their psychology. Like when they come to this country, they know that there's black people already here, that we have our own culture. We have our own history that is completely different, that molds the culture that we have. That is, there's a lot of issues with the culture, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I think I've always been respectful with African people, and I've tried to be respectful. And I understand that a lot of African people may feel, and there's truth to African American people dissociating themselves with Africa. And there's reasons for that because, Africa has always been painted in a negative way. Me growing up as a kid watching Ethiopians, on TV, 25 cents a day could, you got these hungry African people that are starving, and, whether African people are fighting lions and zebras, and they're uneducated, and they're things like that. Don't get me wrong, African American people, we have that same stereotype as far as there's a lot of negative things that I'm sure, African people want to separate themselves from us too. We sag our pants, things of that nature. But I do love my people, all my people, whether they're from America, Africa, or different countries. I just feel like as an African American and someone that identifies with this country and the history of this country and everything my people fought for and died for, and when it comes to just civil rights, when people come to this country, and not just African people, but I'm making this more specifically about African people, but keep in mind, this America is, the land of Native Americans, the Indian people, or, the indigenous people, I want to respectfully label them correctly. This is their land that, those people were genocide, and, slavery came in, the Europeans, all of that. But America is essentially built, not just physically, but even culturally, with African American people. It's my people. My people built this land. You know what I'm saying? We not just physically, but when it comes to I believe, or just it might just be a fact that the reason why other people can come to this country and the diversity of this country is it stems from this African American people, the black people. And there's a reason why black people are kind of the way we are. We're so independent because nobody cares for us. We always had to get it on our own. We always, everything was stripped from us. We had to rebuild. And it's just so when African people kind of ask me where I'm from, and I know that they're aware that I'm from America. I could look at, the majority of the time, I could look at an African person and say, okay, just by looking at them, that person is not from America, because there's different features, you know what I'm saying? I might not be right 100% of the time, but I would say 70 to 80% of the time, I could look at an African person and say, okay, they're from Africa. Might not know where they are, where exactly they from, but I know that they're from Africa. So I know they could look at me. And even if they can't look at me, but when they talk, while I'm talking to them, I hear their accent, they hear mine. I'm American. You know what I'm saying? I'm familiar with almost any American accent, whether it's from the South, whether the East or the West or the Midwest. Like I could listen to someone talking, like, even if I'm not too familiar with their accent, I'm like, that's an American. I could look at that black person and be like, oh, they're American. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, when African people approach me and they ask me where I'm from, I feel like they're being ignorant. I feel like they're not respecting the fact that, African American is a group of people. It's a race of people that, with our own culture and our own identity, and they want us to identify with them. And to an extent, I feel like it's disrespectful because of everything that my people been through and fought for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to say. It's like, I'm not from where you're from. You know what I'm saying? I have, throughout my life, I've had Kenyan people ask me, am I Kenyan? I had Nigerians ask me I'm Nigerian. Liberians ask me if I'm Liberian. Haitians ask me if I'm Haitian. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people would use that as a conversation, like wherever they're from, they'd be like, yo, are you my people? You know what I'm saying? Are you from where I'm from? And I think it's just a conversation starter. But maybe some of these people actually believe I'm from where they're from, or maybe they know that I'm American and they want me to identify with them. Because they know African American is not a real race, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of is now, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have Dominican people and Puerto Rican people, like they are what they are. They're Hispanic, they're Dominican, they're Puerto Rican, but historically they're European, they're African, they're mixed. They're a mixed people. Like they're not like a race. They're more of a culture of people, versus their bloodline goes in different directions. But what I'm saying is, African American that's just what a lot of people are. And there's African Americans that will, our politics are very different. There's people that will tell you that they're this, you know what I'm saying? Like religion or whatever. So, but for the most part, I feel like this can go so many different ways. I just be like, when African people ask me where I'm from, it's kind of like you knocking on my door, and then I answer the door, and then you like, yo, where do you live? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine going to someone's house, going to a random house, knocking on a door, and then as soon as a person open up the door, like, yo, where do you live? Come on, you can make a good assumption where I'm from. You know what I mean? Like, and I wish there was unity with all people of African descent, like with all black people. I wish we all had a sense of like this one thing that we can all identify with. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Like there's a big separation with, I think everybody in a sense. So I just feel like, I don't know. Like I feel like black people in America are just looked down upon by everyone, like in so many different ways. And it's like we fight and we do so much. We've done so much historically. We've been through so much historically. Like we really open up the doors for everyone. And then as soon as those people walk through those doors, it's like they just walking all over African American people. Like I just feel like that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like where you just have your own perspective, and usually it's a negative perspective. And like, without African American people, wouldn't nobody be here. Wouldn't nobody want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Think about this country would be very different. Slavery opened up the doors for the freedom of everyone. And I feel like maybe I should have said that at the beginning of this, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't come to this country, you can't come to my country and then question where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Because if I tell you this is where I'm from and that's not an answer that you like, you want me to say something else that I can't even tell you, even if I wanted to, even if I really wanted to tell you where I'm from. I don't know where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? It's my identity has been stripped from me, and my people, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, so I'm deciding on where I'm at. You know, I know I'm from Providence. I know my dad's from Massachusetts, and that's just what it is. You know, like, I'm American. So, yeah, that's it. You know, I'm not the most educated person. I'm pretty sure this could turn into like a debate in so many different ways, but that's just what I stand when it comes to African and African American people. You know, man, Black Lives Matter, Wakanda forever. That's just where I stand on it, you know. But there's a lot of separation in this world, in this country. But I think certain things need to be respected. And I think African American people really need to be respected as a people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like the African American people, or, you know, they've been through a lot, they do a lot, but they suffer a lot too. But, you know, for African people, you know, stop coming to this country asking African Americans where they from. It's super ignorant. It says a lot. For me personally, for me. It just says a lot. And that a lot is not it's not good. You know. I have to question, like, I have to question, what are you learning? What are you being taught in your country? You come to this country, you see somebody like me, and you asking me where I'm from. And then I give you my answer and you don't like the answer. Is it because you feel like I'm trying to separate myself from you? Or is it because something else? I don't know. But I'm African American. I'm half Cape Verdean. Sometimes I represent being Cape Verdean, but I'm definitely not Cape Verdean either, because that's a whole different group of people, where I'm American. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. And if that is, I'm black or something like that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I just kind of wanted to say it without being so angry, but I am angry about, you know, African people asking me where I'm from my whole life, and it's like, where do you see me at?